is bigger than the other. That's a fact. That's a fact. You could tell the smallest lie right now, and this person could be out here sleeping with 100 people. Y'all are equivalent. It's no big ass and little U's. And let me tell you something. The only thing you gotta do is go read it in the scripture. All you gotta do is go read it in the scripture. You will say, "Oh, you told one lie. Oh, but shoot, you sleeping with 16 people. Shoot, yo. Oh, no. We're both in the wrong. We're both in the wrong. Because the only thing you gotta do is go read the scripture. What the scripture say? What the scripture say about what he offered him when it came? It was really a form of salvation. When he told him, "I'm gonna offer you $1. You can go out there and work in the field, and this is gonna be your reward." And then it was people who came 10 years later, and he offered them the same thing. But then when they lined up to get their wages, the people who had been out there longer, what did they say? "Oh man, hold on, bro. We've been out here for 10 years. Them folks just got out here like what?" No. I promise you the same thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing when it comes to whoa. I told you sin is sin. It don't matter if you told one lie or 100. It's the same. It don't matter if you told one lie and that person told 100. You're the same. you're the same. And see, that's why, man, listen. I ain't gonna never be one of them people that'll say, "Oh shoot, no. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know what I did. I know how I done it." Yeah, I ain't got no lie. Cause you can't hide from him. You can't hide from him. Can't hide from him. But man, I just wanted to get on here and say, man, listen. It's time. If you can't see that it's an awakening going on, and this is what you have to understand. When within the awakening, it's always going to be an enemy who going to creep in and try to make you see something different than what's really going on, because everything gets perverted. It's just like when you go to the scripture and he said, when he talked about the wheat and the tare, he said it was an enemy that crept in while they were asleep and sowed tare amongst the wheat. And he said, "Do you want us to go and strip out the tare?" He said, "No, because if you go in and you snatch out the tare, you'll probably snatch up some of the wheat." And the reason he said it is because wheat and tare look exactly alike. You can't tell the difference. He said, when that time comes, he said, "I'll go in and I'll separate the wheat from the tare. Put the tare in the furnace, the wheat, and go where it need to go." And see, that's what most people don't really understand. Just because you standing next to somebody that walk like, talk like, sound like, it don't mean that they are. That's it, man. Just think about it. I ain't speaking against yours. The scripture will. I just want to put this out here right here. Your pastor could be a tare. The neighbor you've been sent at could be a tare. You want me to tell you why? Because they won't speak against the wrong. If you're not speaking against the wrong, what are you? You're asleep. When he said it's an enemy crept in while they were asleep and sowed tare amongst the wheat. What you don't understand is you could be standing next to a tare, listening to a tare, worshiping from the music of the drummer as a tare. And you don't know because they look just like you. And you have absolutely no idea. And you know what the tare mission is? The tare mission is to blend in. Listen what I'm going to tell you, because I'm figuring it out. The tare mission is to blend in. And guess what you're going to start eventually doing? Turning into the tare. Because the drummer in wolf clothes. The drummer is a wolf. The pastor is a wolf. Your neighbor's a wolf. All these people crept in, and now get what? You don't have the strength. You're not encouraged enough to speak up and say, Because guess what they all gonna do? I'm telling you, don't get away. Keep coming to fellowship. Keep coming to fellowship. Don't get away. Don't get away. Don't let them tell you that. Don't. And the whole time you could be reading your scripture, and it's telling you right there, and you hanging amongst them turds, and the next thing you know, you look just like one, and you don't even know. You don't even know. It's scary to a sense to have this conversation, because one thing I understand when I came into being a soldier for the Most High, this is what I understood. When I get on this level, I get on here and cut up, true enough, if you've been on here following me. But when I get on this level, this is what I understand. We're talking about souls. So it's serious. When we talking about souls, we're talking about salvation. And when you're talking about salvation, you're talking about eternity. So when you're talking about eternity, you either with them or you separated from them. So if I'm gonna sit up here and speak on the scripture, I'm doing everything in my power to give it to you to where when you read it, it makes sense. We ain't finna get in no philosophy. We ain't finna get into it sound good. We ain't finna get into people pleasing. We ain't finna get into, I'm trying to give you some false sense of hope. I hope it scare you to death. Point blank, period. Listen, I don't want to, well, let me say, I don't want to scare you into, but I want you to feel the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. That's Proverbs. Let's put it like that. And it's not a sense of fear of you can't come forward, you can't talk to him, you're scared. It's an understanding of and it brings you into that light. So that's what I'm saying. I want you to sit in your, listen one thing, because I ain't scared to say what I'm about to say. I want you to sit in your congregation and be like, that ain't sounding right to me no more. Get up and walk up out of there. I don't have no problem with saying that. Get what? I don't have no problem with doing it neither. I done been to be sitting there and be like, I ain't tripping, bro. I'm not finna sit here when would you leave. Man, I'm not finna do that, bro. I'm finna go. I went to a church a couple of years ago, right? I was in Atlanta. These folks was trying to I know for a fact I got the spirit. I remember what I call an unmistakable encounter. I remember it to this day. I've had several of them. I can give you plenty of stories right now where I know for a fact I've encountered the king. Listen, I had a moment where I knew I wasn't supposed to be in that church. And them folk put their hands on me, tried to push me down and did all these. And right then and there, I was saying to myself, I knew I shouldn't have came in here. Them folk were literally trying to get me on the ground. And I knew I didn't feel nothing. I didn't hear nothing. And I knew everything that they were saying was not true. But guess what? I wasn't a kid no more. I'm talking about in the spirit, in the spiritual realm. I wasn't scared no more. I wasn't programmed no more. I wasn't, listen, I wasn't, oh, no, whoa. This is not true. You're faking it. The people who got up here before me, this is the same stuff you did. And because they're not free, speaking on liberty, they fell down on their ground and started shaking and knowing good and well they ain't caught the ghost. The women who was laying that stuff over the top of them people, they've had that same experience and they knew they was laying down there and they was trying. Listen to me. Let me tell you something about wanting that experience, because we want to be connected to him. Who does not want a real connection with the creator of all things? Who does not want to feel an experience with who we saying did all of this stuff in the scripture. And it's too many people who done sit there and wonder, is that real? What did they feel? What changed in them? So your mind, because it's so, listen, it's so finite. Your mind tells you, I want to get up there and feel it. So when them folk push you down and you get to doing all of that shit, you're still trying to convince yourself in your mind that you have felt something. And then what you do is get up and you continue the cycle. You tell somebody you felt something that you didn't feel. You tell somebody that you had an experience that you know for a fact that you did not have. You tell somebody, oh, I feel like a completely, and you know for what that is insanity. It's crazy is what it is. And I'm not going to go back and forth with you. It's crazy is what it is. And then guess what? You will get up 2 weeks. Listen what I'm going to tell you. Listen what I'm going to say. How is it that you having an experience, an encounter with the creator of, listen what I'm going to tell you, because this going to be heavy. How did you have an experience, an encounter with the creator of all things, air, animals, insects, water, humans? I'm talking everything. You get up here, you shook, you spoke something that you don't know that you spoke. And 3 days from then, you still having the same problem. Because it's a couple of us on here right now. If we being honest, it's a couple of us on here right now. You want to convince me you had an experience with the person who holds all power in his hand. And 3 days later, you back struggling? Crickets. Would that make sense? Tell me how that, you said because people go back to sin. Let's do this right here. Sanctification, for instance. The minute you are saved for real and you come into salvation, what happens is sanctification. Sanctification has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with the spirit that you say you now possess. And what that does is it removes the growth and the power of sin. So let's not use that as an excuse. Because there's too many people who done fell on that ground, shook, never had their tongue. And 10, 15 years later, you still struggling with the same thing, if not worse. What you ain't going to convince me is, this is the scripture. I tweeted, I done already confessed on her. I started. I don't know where you got in on her. I don't know where you got in on her. I done already said, I do it every day. I ain't making an excuse for it, and I ain't going to get on here and lie. But we do know that the scriptures say, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Before I went to prison, I don't know if you read this book right here. It's on my website, jtb3.org. If you read this book right here, then you already know I slept with almost 100 women by the time I was 18. I'm finna give you an example of sanctification. I don't have ain't no shame in me. I ain't tripping. I don't care. You say what you want. You do what you want to do. It's cool. Because I don't answer to you. You don't got no heaven, no hell to put me in. He said, don't fear the person they can destroy the body. He said, fear the person they can destroy the body and the soul. Only person I'm worried about is the king. So look, check this out. So if you read this, did you know? I slept with almost 100 women by the time I was 18 years old, right? This is what sanctification looks like. It has nothing to do with perfection. I did that in probably almost 2 years, maybe 18, a year and a half, somewhere up in there. It was probably almost 2 years, right? Almost 100 women in almost 2 years. I've been home 6. My self-control is 10 times better then win then. That's sanctification. It had nothing to do with I don't sin at all. It said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I can turn down some things that I wouldn't have turned down 10 years ago. I can walk away from some things that I wouldn't have walked away from 10 years ago. I can probably dibble and dab and then realize, you know what, I'm gone. I'm not even finna do that because I know what they look like because I would have gave into it 10 years ago. That's what sanctification looks like. It has nothing to do with perfection. It has nothing to do with, oh, did I? Because you will do it. He never said you wouldn't do it again. It's something you'll probably walk with. You might not never do it again. But it's something, it's a depth. Self-control is a fruit of the spirit. Go look at it. It's one of the fruits of the spirit. That's when you get into the fruit. The fruit is 10 years ago. I would have A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z, and this, and that, this, and that. I just gave you the definition, Tweety. The thing is, I'm going to put it to you like this. It was a pastor that came to prison one day. And let's say a person drank, right? Let's say a person drank. And this person used to drink every single day. But in a month time, maybe they done cut it down because you have to apply grace and mercy. Sanctification. I said look up what it means. Sanctification removes the power and the growth of sin. It's a process, not an event. I'm gonna say it again. It's a process, not an event. For the people who beat up on themselves and say, I repented, I'm turning from it, and I'm still struggling with it, that's honest. That's real. Because nowhere would it show you, and if you do it again, it'll show that you ain't saved. What the feezy? That's not how it goes. I'm gonna give you a better example. All I knew my entire life, robbing, stealing, selling dope, jacking, my entire life. We talking about the Most High who sit high and look low. We're talking about the Most High who was here before. Listen to me. We talk about the Most High who's aware of every single thing before you even existed. He said he knew you before the womb, which means if he knew me before the womb, I'm going to speak for myself because I don't know your story. If he knew me before the womb, then he knew I was going to get molested. But he also knew in that molestation, it was a calculated strategic move through a family member that was planting a seed that was going to make me be hypersexual, which was going to turn into people who did not understand the spirit, who were going to say, oh, that boy fast. Oh, he doing this. But what you didn't understand that I was attacked early on. I was attacked early on, and now I'm chasing after this. I'm chasing after this feeling, and people who don't understand it, they didn't know how to lay their hands on me. They didn't know how to try to guide it. But what they did was talk about me. And then you have to say this right here. I come from a lineage. Of people who manipulative, take this, take that, taking advantage of opportunities. I come from that. My daddy, 2 life sentences. My uncle, 75 years. My granddaddy went to prison. My great-great-granddaddy went to prison. But listen, I could go on and on and on and on and on. We're talking about generation after generation after generation. Some things are genetic. I never met listen, we went to see my daddy in prison a couple of times, right? My mama used to say things like it, you just like your daddy. And what I did not understand why she would even say that when I've never been around this man. I only go see this man once every 2-3 months. If that, I might go see this man 3 times a year. I was a child. By the time I went to prison, if you ain't read this book, you can go get it, jtb3.org. By the time I went to prison and sit in a cell with my daddy, I would sit and just listen, and I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. I would have said that way. I would have did that way. And then I would come to understand, wow, genetics are real. Genetics are real. And then I could go, my brother, 14, 15 years old, got locked up for selling dope. Came home, my brother was the biggest dope boy in the city. I'm the little brother. It ain't a man in my family who guided and trying to do none of that. What I'm gonna do? I started selling dope. I done heard all these stories about my daddy, all these stories about my uncle. What I do? Picked up the strap, started robbing. Listen to me. Little one, I'm finna tell you. That is all I knew. My mama dated the biggest dope boy in the city. Literally. This is all I know. Some people would say, oh, that's an excuse. That was a choice. Listen to me. Being a product of your environment is real. Now, it could go one or two ways. True enough. It's some people who the Most High just choose to say, I'm going to let you see it, but I ain't going to let you touch it. Because I need you to go a different way, because there's certain people that I need you to reach. And that's just what it happened. But it's some people that he choose that I'm going to allow you to go through it because you can't see it. And so he said, I knew you before the womb. I'm going to allow you to go through it because it's something else I need you to do. It's a whole different level. But at the same time, they coincide. I need you to experience, and you're going to be able to tell some people, oh, I experienced and this and that, but I didn't do it because I wanted better. But I probably need you to go through it because it's a little knucklehead over here and he ain't going to get it. I need you to go through it and so you'll have the experience. They all coincide. You can never speak for the Most High. And what? Listen, what I'm going to tell you. So, as I go through these things, right? Of course, by the time I even chose to say, I want to know why. Why would I? I've been molested, mistreated, didn't have a daddy, no guidance. None of the men in my family married, don't know how to love a woman, don't know how to treat a woman, never seen what it looked like. You hear me? Listen, this is another thing. All I know is selling dope. I don't know how to make an honest living. If I ain't selling dope, I'm taking it. Listen, I don't believe that it's faithful women out here because I done slept with almost 100 of them, and some of them was in relationships. Some of them maybe one or two of them may have been married or maybe been separated. I don't know. So by the time I'm sitting in a cell, I've had an attempted murder case. I've hit 2, 3 people. All my homeboys is in the streets. Everybody in the streets, right? Everybody in the streets. So, by the time I'm sitting in the cell and I'm facing a life sentence on a special aggravated robbery, special aggravated kidnapping, first degree, premeditated murder, of course I'm in a quiet place and I'm ready to say, how in the world, this is one thing I say because I'm honest, why would I even want to talk to you? I'm talking about the king because I'm being honest. Attempted escape. No, I escaped out of jail. If you read the book, then you know, jtb3.org. Do you know how many people struggle to pray because they don't feel like a prayer has ever been answered? Do you know how many people cringe really, but it's the fear of they don't want to speak against God, but they feel a sense of, I don't want to hear you speak on the king because I have not seen him move in my life the way y'all saying he gonna move. And if he is gonna move, when is he gonna move? I've been through hell and back my entire life. Matter of fact, I'm still going through hell. I don't even, listen to me, I ain't even made it out to go back yet. I'm still in it. My entire family. So at the point I'm 35, I'll be 36 December 2nd. At the point I'm sitting in a cell facing a life sentence, feeling like I don't deserve it, right? You know why I'm feeling like I don't deserve it? Even though I'm aware of what I've done. I'm aware that somebody has lost their life. I'm aware that a girl drunk bleach. I'm aware of that I've hit several people. I'm aware of how many licks I hit, how many homes I invaded these people, and they probably still have traumatic issues right now on the strength of that. Do you not realize how much? But I'm still sitting in the cell and saying, you know, I did not ask to be here. Hey, Most High. Hey, let me talk to you real quick, God. I didn't ask you to choose this woman to be my mama, and I didn't ask, why did you choose him to be my dad? And why did I have to be born in Springfield, Tennessee? And what in the world were you thinking when you said, wait a minute, why? What makes you think I want to sit right there and pray. I don't. If I'm going to be honest, why I want to talk? I'm finna spend the rest of my life behind bars, same way my daddy did. You hear me? Nobody in my family has lived their life. Nobody has been free. Nobody has made anything of their life. And I'm sitting in here and I'm thinking, why even pray? Granny said she was praying. Why am I in this cell? Auntie said she was praying. My fact, mama said she prayed every now and then. Ain't nobody to pray at work. Listen. So at this point, I'm saying, I'm tired of this going crazy. And that's the truth. Regardless if I get out here or not, I need this right here to calm down. I need some silence. I need some peace. I need some calm right here and right here. Because regardless of if I'm getting out of here or not, this right here is shattered. You talking anxiety, trauma. People will try to blame the trauma on being in the cell. I was traumatized before I got there. And now this is another layer of trauma. The smell, the concrete, the mat, the TV. I can't do this, can't do that. Keys jingling, radio. At this point, I need this and this. I need some peace. I need some silence. I need some comfort. So at that point, that's where the shift take place. Because if I'm gonna survive this in any shape, form, or fashion, this gonna have to be better. This gonna have to be better. So when I started watching TBN and then I started watching Pastor TDJ, this is in 2010. That's when I can speak on my experience of when I caught the ghost. If you read the book, if you haven't, go get it. JTB3.org. Matter of fact, I got two. You can get both of them, 2 for 1. JTB3.org. So by the time I have that experience, listen what I'm gonna tell you. I'm still on sanctification for instance. The change happens immediately in the mind, in the heart, and in your spirit. The results is over time. It's a process, not an event. I'm gonna tell you something about the power of confession. The power of confession allows you to realize the mistake before you do it again. As a robber, I'm not saying it's wrong because I'm in the street. I don't believe it's wrong. The minute I confess and say it's wrong, then I acknowledge it's wrong for me to take. It gives you the ability to say, don't do that. That's the power. A person who's a habitual liar, it's going to take a process for them to come out of there because they've probably been a liar in order to process, in order to survive, because they have never ran into a situation or people that allow them to be an honest person because they've always had to get over. But by the time you get to a point of where you can confess that and you start to say, I'm not going to do that. Over time, what you do is you start to tell the truth. And I'm going to tell you something about the king. When you start to tell the truth and you see a different result for honesty, you're okay with telling the truth. When you've been a robber and a dope boy your entire life and you challenge the king the same way Gideon did, if it's really you, listen, if it's really you, I need you to do this and do that so I can know. The minute the dope boys and the jackals and whoever else, the thieves, started to say, now, I'm going to give this a shot, he ain't got to show you a lot. I wrote my first 3 books sitting in the cell. I published my first 2 still sitting in the cell. I sold 44 copies of my first book sitting in a cell in Northwest, not too far from Memphis. I sold my first 44. That was enough for me to say to myself, I don't have to rob, I don't have to steal, I don't have to take. If I sold 44, if I wrote the book in here So went through the whole process. I got an ISBN, I got my copyright, I got my cover, I got it edited, and I've got in touch with a publisher, and I paid for it with the money off of my books. I paid the rest I had because I was done hustling in prison. If I sold 44 sitting in this cell, if I get out and I apply myself, I could sell 1 million. Why would I have to sell dope? Did I get out here and fall short? Yeah, took me about a year, maybe year, 2 years, I ended up jumping in the game. But guess what? Jumping in the game, I'm going to show you. It's a process, not an event. I'm still on sanctification. It's a process, not an event. Just because I fell short, it does not mean that I'm not connected to the King. What it means is I had a flesh moment and I decided to go in there, and guess what he showed me? It's not you no more. I appreciate that. Jumped out of the game. A year went by, still struggle. Get what? I'm finna try this again. I jumped in again and I realized I just don't have the heart for it no more. So I'm cool with the process. It's a process. It's not an event. That's what sanctification is. Most people beat themselves up because what you realize, you stepped into righteousness. You stepped into the King. You stepped into your conviction, and you didn't see an immediate change, and the enemy got into your head and he told you, I told you it's not real. The enemy told you, I told you you ain't gonna, I told you couldn't change. No. It's a process over time. Give yourself some time and see if you respond the same way you used to respond. Give yourself some time and see if you drink as much as you used to drink. If you really got the spirit in you, you really seeking to be better. Give yourself some time and see if you lie as much as you used to lie. Give yourself some time to see if you stay connected to the same people that you used to be connected to, that you used to call your friends, and then you find out this ain't what real friends look like. This ain't how real friends move, and this ain't how real friends talk. Give yourself a little time to say, you know what? I used to have a problem with being encouraged and making decisions in certain things, and that. Just give yourself some time. It's a process. It's not an event. See, too many people beat themselves up early, and then what they do is they allow the enemy to make them tap out, and then what they do is they just waddle and stay in their way. And that's one of the hardest things to do as a human being, point blank period, because it requires discipline. Anything that requires some discipline on you is hard on your flesh, because we want immediate results. We a microwave generation. What we want is boom, pop it in, boom, 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 and it's done. But what you don't realize is you've been through a lot. You've been traumatized. You've been stressed out. You've been depressed. You've struggled all your life. People lied to you. People backstabbed you. People crossed you out. You have some things that's going on within you. So you would have to allow the process to take place and be aware of the process. You have certain things, and some things you need to speak out loud and put it into the atmosphere. You need to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Sometimes you got to speak it over yourself, because I promise you, if you allow somebody else to do it, they're going to speak death over you every time. Because don't nobody want to see you outgrow them. Don't nobody want to see, the majority of people do not want to see you become better, especially if they not in the place if they not in the place that you in. Because, man, listen to me. Change is so hard. Change is so hard. And it's hard because, listen, change is so hard because one of the first things you're going to have to do is let people go. And who want to let people go? It's toxic people that's in your life that are your comfort. It's just like people got comfort food. It's people that you connected to that keep you distracted, because y'all can talk about certain things, y'all can gossip, and it keeps you from working on yourself. It's certain people that you can go around whether y'all gossiping or talking or not, but it's just that you in the present, and it don't allow you to codependency. It don't allow you to work on yourself. It's certain people that you will go and hang around, and what you don't realize is that they yes men and yes women. They tell you everything you need, everything you want to hear, except what you need to hear, and then you wonder why. That's why it's so hard for you to change. You know why so many of us are strolling our phone every day, because there's certain things that we really just don't have the discipline to work on. You strolling your phone every day, but you constantly talking about you need to work out, but you stroll your phone 4 hours a day, and the only thing you needed was 30 out of that to get down on that ground and do you some sit-ups and do you some push-ups and some jumping jacks. But you will stroll your phone for 4 hours acting like you was finna see something you didn't already see, acting like you finna hear a different TikTok sound that you already done heard 100 of them, and the whole time you just lack the discipline to put your phone down and get up and do some jumping jacks. It's just too many of us who just lack the discipline. That's the hardest thing to do, because it makes you got to look in the mirror. You got to look in the mirror, and then you got to realize you got a long way to go. But it ain't nothing wrong with realizing you got a long way to go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm cool with that. I was cool with that. I was cool with it. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I was cool with it. Because after I came home after doing 10 years in prison, what I realized that nobody had grown. And anything that's not growing, look, it's dead. So they were dead before I went in there. So when I came home and I seen the conditions of people, when I seen the skin complexion, when I seen they were working in the same place and complaining about the pay, still complaining about the bill, still talking, still cars halfway beat up, still living beyond they mean, still lying and acting like they something that they not. That's what scared me. I said, oh, no. You know what? Thank you. Appreciate that. I just wiped it for you. I said, oh, I don't want that. I don't want that. And then what? I'm willing to cut every single one of y'all off in order to have what I need, in order to have what I want, go and be who the Most High done call. I'll cut every one of y'all off. I don't care. I don't care. You can call me selfish. You can call me petty. You getting cut off. I'm finna go where I need to go. When I packed up and moved to Dallas, I didn't even tell my mama. I was here for 2 weeks. She called me and said, boy, why you didn't? Boy, you don't move to Dallas? I said, yeah. She said, yeah, I was talking to your sister. Said, I ain't seen your brother call her. My sister, she said, my sister told her, yeah, he moved to Dallas. Moved to Dallas when? Say, he been gone for about 2 weeks. I ain't told nobody nothing. I'm finna go. Listen. I'm finna go. I'm not, I ain't tripping on that, bro. I ain't tripping on that, man. But you know, I just had a moment, man, because I'm finna get ready to roll. I had the moment because, man, listen. I had a moment, man, because I saw somebody comment that I ain't never seen comment. Seen somebody say something I ain't never seen say nothing. And I said, it's crazy what it take for that to happen. We here now. And the results is ain't no bad tree gonna bear good fruit, and ain't no good tree gonna bear bad fruit. If anybody who been watching me for the last 6 years, not the last 3, you've watched nothing but growth. And I'm not gonna go back forward with you. If you've been watching me for the most of TikTok, 3.5, maybe 3 years, you've watched nothing but growth. Point blank. I get on here and cut up, but you ain't seen me stray away from who I was from the beginning. I ain't changed up nothing. It's been pure elevation and humility, and that's what it's going to continue to be. Because without him, there's no this, there's no me. There's no freedom. And I ain't just talking about from the penitentiary. I've been locked in and out. I've been locked up all my life. I'm talking here. I'm free. It ain't a demon, a devil in this world that'll put me in no captivity, because ain't nobody gonna hold nothing over me. Ain't nobody gonna shape me into being something I don't want to be. And ain't nobody gonna muzzle my mouth and tell me that I can't speak the truth. Ain't nobody gonna make me, listen to me. I'm gonna continue to be who he created me to be. Because when I take my last breath, I'm gonna take it empty. I'm not going to the graveyard with a bunch of dreams and a bunch of what ifs. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take my last breath and I'm gonna leave here with and done everything that he asked me to do. And that's just what it's gonna be. And if you don't want that, I don't know what's wrong with you. And I'm done. If you took something from this, man, you cash at me $1. Okay, so boom, 1. That's OKSOBOOM 1. And if you didn't get to watch all this, I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. My YouTube is my name, Joe Baker. JOEBAKER. If you can't find it, you can go to my TikTok profile page, hit that Instagram link. It's gonna take you to my YouTube. I'm gonna put it on there tomorrow. If you ain't got my books, you can go to my website, jtb3.org. I got 2-for-1 going on right now with the books. I got 2-for-1 going on with my book. You said, who is my pastor? Man, I don't even know if Bruck consider himself a pastor, but he most definitely that's my guy. You know, when I'm gonna say this, now I'm gonna go. My last 2.5 years in prison is where my transformation took place. I had just left the prison where Me and my daddy was in the cell together, and I was going with the CO. I left that prison, went to another prison where my daddy's brother was, which is my uncle, who was doing 75 years. He was one of the biggest gang members in the state of Tennessee. My church say not going back and forth with you. And my uncle he was a Five Deuce Hood Crip. Like I said, he was one of the biggest gang members in the state of Tennessee in prison. Everybody knew him. But he had changed his life, though. He had gave his life to Christ. And when I got around him, after watching him and some of the brothers there, I was like, I done tried everything else. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And his best friend is Dip. And he in Columbia, Tennessee. And he did 17 and a half. I think Dip been out like 2-3 years now. And I moved in the cell with him, and that's the brother who helped me get an understanding of the word. And me and him still chop it up to this day. And he most definitely oversee my soul. He oversee my spirit, He encourages me, you know what I'm saying? He let me know he proud of me, he keep me in the word. He an iron sharpen iron, man, and that's my dude. But I got several brothers, you know what I'm saying, that I can chop it up with about the word. My daddy being one of them, but Dip, I would most definitely consider him, my spiritual guy. You know what I'm saying? For sure. It ain't too many that I'm willing to listen to and willing to talk to, because too many of them just won't. What's your opinion on when gang members blow? What you mean blow their homie up? Go to my website, jtb3.org. jtb3.org. JTB. My website is on my TikTok profile. So if you go to my TikTok profile page, my link is on there, jtb3.org. Good night. What's up with you? What you got going on? Put it on the homie. That's you talking about when they say, you know what I'm saying, I put that on my homie? Is that what you saying, Tay? Is that what you saying? That's a part of the programming too, man. It's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, to say anything on anybody that just done passed away. And most of them folks is lying anyway. Most of them folks. I don't agree with that. Where can you get the shirt? Go to my website, jtb3.org. What's the best way to reach out for business? You talking about to holler at me? What kind of business you got going on, Chocolate Scorpio? What you trying to do? DM me on Instagram, BAKERII. Go to my Instagram. DM me on Instagram. It's best to probably catch me this week. I go, my guy right there. I was just talking about you. That's Dip right there. For everybody who was just asking my spiritual advisor, that's him right there. It's Dip09 Don. He said, my guy, I was just talking about you, man. They would just ask me, and I was letting them know, man, we were sellers for a while, man. And if it's anybody who gonna encourage me, you know what I'm saying, pour that word into me, you know what I'm saying, it's my guy, Dip. But there you go right there. That's my dude. For sure. Matter of fact, if you done read my book, his name in there. I paid my respects to him. That's my guy right there. Clifton Brown. He most definitely in the acknowledgments, for sure. He in there. Appreciate that, Valerie. Am I talking to young men? I used to do it all the time. I ain't did it. I probably ain't did it in about 3 years, other than same way, Dip, for sure. I'm from Tennessee. What you still doing up in? What you got going on? But yeah, I ain't did it in about 3 years. But yeah, I ain't did it in about 3 years. I'm willing to get back into it after I get through filming. I'm in a film right now. We've been filming for about 3 months. I think we're gonna be done like September the 17th. And then I got my own movie I'm shooting, which I'm gonna be done shooting mine tomorrow. I got 2 more scenes to shoot. Once I get freed up, you know what I'm saying? I most definitely. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on YouTube. So if you ain't get to see the whole message, you know what I'm saying, you have to check it out on YouTube. I'm kind of drained at this point. You said I'm ignoring your request to help to write a book. Well, what I ignore your request on? It probably hit me when I was super duper busy. What's up, Mocha? I'm tired now, y'all. I'm tired. Appreciate that, Kimmy. I'm tired. I'm finna ready to roll. I'm finna ready to jump in the shower, man. I just had to get on here. I had one of the moments, but what can I know more about the movie when you're done? I'm gonna probably release it in about 2 weeks. You're gonna have to catch it on YouTube. It's gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna put it on my website. What you talking about, Miko? Miko, I ain't seen you in about a year. Where you been at? You done got in a relationship. Now I'm ready to cut up. Now I'm ready to shine on you. I'm ready to shine. Now I'm finna ready to go though. I'm tired. I'm finna take a shower, man. Yeah, my dad, man, my dad been doing this thing, man. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it in about 2 weeks. I'm gonna shoot my last 2 scenes tomorrow, man. And then, yeah, we're gonna drop. Well, I'm gonna do a series. I'm gonna drop the first part. What ought they hit you back on, Miko? DM me on Instagram or send me an email or something. If you got my number, just text my other phone. We'll chop it up. I'm tired though, man. I've been on here almost 2 hours, man. I'm finna get the road, man. Y'all hold it down. Y'all be blessed, man. If you ain't said a prayer in a while, go ahead and say one tonight. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down for the saints. Say one for me too. And like I said, if you took something from the message, cash out me $1. Okay, so boom, one. And if you ain't already got the books, go get the book. They at jtb3.org. If I said that too fast, then you're listening too slow. But I'm gonna say it to you. I'm gonna say it for you again. jtb3.org, and they are my initials if it'll help. My name is Joe Thomas Baker III. jtb3.org, and if you can't find it, then go to my profile page on my TikTok, and you will see my website, you will see my YouTube. If you've been asking for the shirt, go to jtb3.org and go subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow, probably in the morning, man. Y'all hold it down. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool? Blessings.